Alright guys, I have another pair of Bluetooth headphones for review today. These are the Fifine X3 and these claim to have up to 65 hours of battery life. They also have active noise cancellation and they also have multi-point connection. So they have some pretty great features and these sell for only around $60. So if you guys have heard of this brand previously, it's most likely because of their microphones. Since their microphones are quite popular with streamers and gamers, and they're pretty well known for being great value for the money. Now what's interesting about these headphones is that these actually come with a detachable boom microphone. Now because it comes with this microphone, I had high expectations for the microphone quality, mainly because this has a detachable boom mic from a company known for making great microphones. And spoiler alert, it actually delivers. Mostly, and there's a big caveat with that. So I'll get into the quirks later on and what I mean by that. So these headphones right here, you can see I got in the beige color since I kind of wanted something a little bit different, since most of the headphones out there are black colored. They kind of just came in a basic plain box, a really small box. It didn't really come with much. It just came with regular accessories such as the charging cable, the boom mic, and these headphones themselves. I gotta say, immediately when I laid my eyes on them, these looked very similar to the Sony XM4s which I've had in the past. Now I'm not sure whether or not they were actually inspired by the Sony XM4 design, but either way, it's a nice looking pair of headphones, although a little bit big and bulky looking, just like the XM4s. Now I want to talk about build quality here. It's pretty good overall. It's got a grainy kind of textured plastic that feels pretty light, but also solid as well. And these headphones are very flexible. So you can see that they swivel the ear cups very easily, even stretching out the headphones and the headband. It stretches out really nicely. It's very flexible, which plays into a big part of comfort, which I will get into later. These headphones also fold. It doesn't come with a travel case, so if you wanted to put this in a travel case or something, you might have to get a third-party travel case, maybe off of Amazon or something, but they do fold if you want to have extra portability. I also gotta say the clamping force is very, very light on my head. So sometimes they can move around on my head if I'm turning my head rapidly. I would definitely not really recommend these headphones if you're planning to do any kind of crazy physical activity, since these will have a tendency to slide on your head. At least it does on mine. So yeah, definitely more of a headphone that you want to use when you're not moving around as much. Now the top of the headband here has a very, very spongy feeling cushion. It's almost like a sponge. It really feels like a sponge. And it's pretty soft. Over time, maybe long hours, you can start to feel this on your head, but overall it's not bad. What I want to get into though is the ear pads, which are very, very soft. These are super soft. They kind of have like some kind of soft memory foam kind of feeling, almost like cloud-like qualities, which is really nice. Now, because these headphones are so light, but at the same time they're very flexible with great ear pads and a light clamping force, this all plays a part in the comfort. And the comfort on these headphones is really, really top notch. These are really comfortable headphones. And in fact, I think the comfort here kind of is very similar to the Bose Quiet Comforts. The Bose Quiet Comforts are one of the most comfortable headphones out there. And these, I think, are on par with the comfort on those headphones. Now you can see that every time I set this down, the ear cups do always swivel out like this, and that's because they are so loose. I think they could actually be maybe a little bit tighter, but what's also really loose is the headband slider here. This is actually a little bit too loose in my opinion. I think they can make this a little tighter. It slides off so easily. You see, you can even shake it a little bit and they will just come down by themselves. So if you're wanting to have it like stay in place, you can see it just came apart right there. A lot of the times it will kind of slide apart on themselves. So I wish they would have made it a little bit tighter just to have more of a stationary fit. Now let's take a look at the interface of the headphones, and you'll notice that everything is located on the right ear cup, which is not unusual to see for buttons and controls, but it's also where the detachable microphone goes, and also the 3.5mm aux cable. Most headphones I've used, gaming headsets and also ANC headphones, usually the wires and the jack usually go on the left side of the headphones, and that also goes with the microphone. So it's kind of interesting seeing that everything's on the right side, and it just kind of takes some time to get used to. Now the actual controls are, they're okay, but they can sometimes be a little bit awkward and can take some time to get used to. Now the power button turns on the headphones, of course, but this also turns into the play and pause button, which I can't really get used to. I'm so used to having another dedicated button to play and pause. So yeah, that's a little bit awkward for me. And also the volume control button here, instead of having dedicated buttons for volume up and down, they are both on the same button. And it is a little bit awkward to use too. To increase the volume, you click once, and to decrease the volume, you have to hold it down. It's just a little bit, again, something that you have to take some time getting used to. The ANC button is pretty self-explanatory. It switches between noise cancellation, transparency mode, and also just turning off the ANC. Now, if we move over to the right ear cup, this is kind of like the XM4 again, where it has some touch controls here. And what you can do is, when you're talking, just like the XM4s, you could hold the cup and it will turn into transparency mode. So you could talk to people without having to take off your headphones, which is a really nice feature. I like that a lot on the XM4, and it's great to see that on here as well. You can also switch between different modes. So when you triple tap here, you can activate game mode, which I think decreases the latency on the video games. You can also change modes in terms of the sound profile. So if you double tap here, it will change to bass mode, which basically increases the bass. And if you double tap again, it goes back to the normal mode. Now, that's all fine, except I found the touch response here to be kind of awkward and not the most easy to register sometimes. It also depends on where you hit. I found that if you tap somewhere near the bottom, it's usually more responsive, but a lot of times if I tap somewhere here or up here, it just doesn't really work. And switching this thing into game mode is very difficult, because getting this thing to register all three quick taps is very difficult in my experience. Now, just talking a little bit about the active noise cancellation, I found that it works pretty good. The ear cups themselves, even without noise cancellation, do a pretty good job at isolating noise, because it's such a soft kind of padding, and it seems to block out a lot of that noise. But when you turn on the ANC, it blocks out a little bit more of that environmental hum and just background noise in general. Now, it's not the strongest noise cancellation, but it does do a pretty good job at blocking out the background humming noises and things like HVAC vents. Now, when I did wear these headphones next to my TV, and there's a bunch of people talking, I can still hear the outside voices pretty well and pretty clearly, especially if no music is playing. But with music playing, it blocks out, I would say, 70 to 80% of the things going on outside. So not bad. These also have multi-point pairing, which I mentioned before, which is really nice. It works flawlessly. I pair this to both my Samsung Z Fold 5 and my MacBook Pro without any issues. Now, besides the comfort, which is, to me, probably the best thing about these headphones, another strong feature that this has is the battery life. And they claim that this has up to 65 hours of battery life. But I'm not sure whether or not that's actual listening time or just standby time. But on their website, they say this has 33 hours of battery life on 100% max volume, or 40 hours for phone and video calls. Now, I don't listen to anywhere near 100% volume, maybe 20 to 25%. So I'm assuming I should easily get over 33 hours. Now, I haven't fully ran the thing from full battery to dry, but battery life so far, in my experience, has been excellent. Alright, so now let's talk about the unique feature with this microphone. So first of all, these headphones actually do have an internal microphone. They do work without having this thing attached. I've tested it and you will see it in a demo a little bit later, but you don't need this attached to use the mic, which is a good thing. Now the bad thing is that using the microphones on Bluetooth, the quality is just really bad. With or without this boom mic, the quality on the Bluetooth is just not that good. Now, here's the thing. If you are using this headphone wired with the 3.5 millimeter aux cable, the quality is a world of difference. Now, even without the boom microphone, if you're using this thing wired, the audio coming out of the microphone is actually quite clear. Now, when you use the boom microphone attached and wired, that is when you can get the best microphone quality out of this headphone. It's super clear, and I think it's actually good enough to even use if you want to maybe just do some quick recording for YouTube videos or something like that, or do a little quick voiceover. I think it's good enough for that. To me, it sounds really, really good. And I also use it on Discord, and everybody says they can hear me very well. So these headphones actually have an internal microphone built into the headphones themselves. This is the microphone quality without that boom mic attached. It doesn't sound that great, definitely very muffled sounding, so let's attach that boom mic and see what it does. Okay, so this is the sound that you're going to get with the boom microphone attached. Now, it's definitely gotten a little bit louder in terms of volume, but I think the quality is actually still not that great. Definitely not as good as I was expecting. And also, there is some kind of like background clipping or rattling kind of noise that I'm kind of experiencing with this boom microphone. So again, the quality is just not that great in general. Here is a wired test. Previously we did the Bluetooth test with my phone, but now here I am with the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack plugged into my Mac, and this is the sound that you're going to get from the microphone without the boom microphone attached. So I think there is a huge improvement in the microphone quality, even without the boom mic. So yeah, after this we're going to test with the external microphone attached. Alright, and now we have the boom mic attached to the headphones, and we are also trying this wired with the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. This is what it would sound like. I already listened to this during the playback, and this is a huge improvement once again compared to using the microphones through Bluetooth. It's like a world of difference. Now that I'm hearing this back on my computer, the boom microphone sounds really good. So finally, I want to talk about the sound quality. Now, to me, the headphones sounded pretty good. I would say it's just slightly above average. I've known Fifine for their microphones, but these were my first time trying actual headphones from the company. And I would say that they definitely are not the most detailed, and they sound slightly muffled and soft, but they are overall tuned well. Nothing really feels overpowering. The bass, the mids, and the highs are all pretty well balanced. Though I would say the upper mids and the highs can sometimes be a little bit shouty or harsh on the normal mode, especially when it comes to female vocals. Now, the overall tuning, I would say, is the greatest strength of the sound. The other technicalities like soundstage and instrument separation, I think that's where it falls a little bit short. Now, my daily portable headphones are currently my Beats Studio Pros, and like the Studio Pros, the treble and female vocals can come off a little bit harsh in certain music. I usually like using this on the normal setting, but if you do feel like you need more of that bass, again, you can just double tap the right ear cup and you will switch it to bass mode. Now, even in bass mode, the bass is actually done pretty well, and it's done pretty conservatively. It just adds a little bit more low-end emphasis, but it doesn't sound annoyingly powerful either. I think bass heads will probably want to use the bass boost mode. Now, I would say that the way they are tuned, it's overall pretty non-offensive, and it's also non-fatiguing. Just well-tuned overall, like I said, and it's well-balanced, but it's just missing some of that detail and the sparkle. Now, the instrument separation is not that good on these headphones, since the instruments kind of sound all blended together. And the same goes with the imaging. Now, you can generally hear obvious sounds coming from the left and the right side, but it's kind of all mostly in the center. And again, it's just kind of hard to pick out the details and where they're coming from in the track. The soundstage to me is also pretty average. They didn't sound particularly wide or very open to my ears. So wrapping up this review, I think that's the thing with these headphones, is that to me they are just decent sounding headphones in general with no real things that annoy me. Their technicalities when it comes to sound are mostly just average for the price, but I think the tuning was just well done with these headphones, that they are pretty easy to listen to, and you can listen to them for long periods of time without feeling fatigued. Also add in the fact that they have Bose Quiet Comfort level of comfort, so that is a huge plus. Now, they aren't the most technically advanced or high fidelity sounding, but they are also only around $60 with excellent battery life, comfort, and decent noise cancellation. I think these are a good overall headphone. You can use this to game, and then when you're not gaming, you can take these out with you to wherever you need to go and go along with your day. So that's it for this review of the Fifine X3. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys all in the next video.